Welcome back to the channel. This is Shelf Centered. I thought I'd do a bit of a kind of an introduction, but by way of the favorite uh, books that I have on my shelf. This is an active shelf behind me. You'll see gaps in it from time to time. It's my reading shelf. So actually, one of the things I've done, I don't meet a lot of people that do it this way. It's probably because it's not sane, but if you'll see this middle shelf here ish is all books that I've read. My egotistical goal was to go, I've read all of those in the middle. I mean, eventually all of them. But right now, middle is all books I've read. Sides, all to read. And so my goal is to get there. But right now I can at least say one full shelf. Clearly I've read actually way more than that, but especially in my lifetime. But because I'm old, I called myself old. And so the middle shelf is the shelf of books that I have actually read and from time to time reread, of course. So I thought by way, I've got books over here in a stack on my couch, my chair, that I would kind of introduce myself a little bit. I have a little bit of internet history with reviewing books, and some of that has come to some pretty fun and interesting stories and stuff. So I hope to not bore you too much, and a healthy amount will be, well, maybe in later videos I'll tell you more. But right now I just kind of wanted to get you some of the books that are special to my heart, and explain maybe a little bit why, and hopefully I can kind of give you a little bit more of an introduction to me, because so many people are just dying to. I mean, lining up. It's crazy. So first one, kind of, I don't know, starts it off a little bit. This is one where I'm blocking his name. John Sprunk, Shadow Sun. This was like my first review copy. So like I said, I don't know if I said I've done a couple takes here. my I have a little bit of a blogging career, and I did that for a number of years, and this was the first real book that I got as an advanced reading copy, although it's not technically, one of those. We'll get to some that are actual advanced reading copies, but this one has a special place because it's the first one from a big publisher. This is Pyre. I used to call it PYR. I believe it is Pyre, as in the flame that also is showing in the pyre. But correct me if I'm wrong. Always happy to get it right. But Shadow Sun, and it's also a good book. So on top of it, I very much enjoyed it. I might have been somewhat affected by the fact that it was a shiny new book, and I got it from a publisher that wanted me to have it because I blogged. So anyway, there's a little bit of shininess to that, but I really liked it though too, and I liked the rest of the trilogy, so I can't say that it was too much of any of that. Let's see here. We'll keep going along that route with the arcs now. So an actual legitimate real arc. It tells all the publication details on the back. It's got the marketing details. I don't know how they're going to market it, but also a great book. Very much enjoyed it. The Aeronauts Windless by Jim Butcher. But yeah, as you can see on the very top here, it's uncorrected proofs for limited distribution, not for sale. And though I'm sure on the there's probably some eBay market for these or something tiny, and half or a million tenths of a pence. So probably not a whole lot there. But anyway, that one's still special because it's really cool and has a thick boy, right? But quite enjoyed it too, especially the cats. He nailed cats. Just so funny. Anyway, read that if you haven't. This one, you're going to see why very quickly. This also will date me quite a bit. This is one of my all-time favorite books anyway. But this was a fun one because, holy cow, to get the big thing that was coming, to be one of the first to get it, you better believe I was reading my face off with this when I got this uncorrected advanced reading copy, not for sale. Brandon Sanderson also there. Again, all the marketing they're going to do. Here's all the stuff we're going to do. Again, talk to any librarian. They get the same books. They're way cooler than me because they get to work with books anyway all the time. And they will be like, this is nothing crazy. We get these all the time. But for me, holy cow, to get the freaking Way of Kings as an advanced reading copy, as you'll see in here, I mean, literally the maps and I mean, if you have any familiarity with this series, they're picture and map intensive, and they're gorgeous, which is cool because maybe that's for another video, because sometimes, not all the time, and I'm sorry if I'm making a racket on my microphone here, but there we go. Dedication, TK. Acknowledgements, TK. So nothing fully done. They just want to get these out there so the reviewers could have a go at it. But missing a lot of stuff, which is cool because, like I said, what they do is they say, wait, don't quote anything until you compare it with the original. And so sometimes, like Tor did, was then they'll just send you the next version of it. And so, which is the final hardcover version. So I have a copy of that too. I didn't pull that one out, but that is a fun one. Anyway, Way of Kings, that's really fun. Arcs. Let's see here. Speaking of Brandon Sanderson, we'll just keep going. This is one actually, because what got me kind of into the blogging and reviewing books. I actually won this one. And again, this was the first book that Sanderson wrote in the Wheel of Time with Robert Jordan, of course. And what's cool about this is that I got it, that it was not only signed by Brandon Sanderson, but signed by Harriet McDougall there, and then also by Maria Simons, and right there. So as you can imagine, when I finally actually read this book, I did not read this version. This is my special princess, because that's a cool one. So that one's fun. I have a couple. If I go through all the signed ones, we'll be here a while. But again, we're going, and I probably have missed. So that's why I'm like, oh, my babies. I'm sorry if I didn't address you. They're all. I'm doing it right in front of them too. I mean, how embarrassing. So cool story. I don't know which one to start with. I guess I'll start with this one. I grabbed the wrong one. So on Goodreads is a great place. I know some people like it less than others, but again, it comes down to what else you're going to use to connect to people who are book readers. So anyway, read the first one in this series, The Wars of Light and Shadow by Janie Wirtz, and loved it. It's holy cow, it's dense, but so good, emotional, like I've hardly read. I mean, just pulls the emotions out of you and hurts you, but then also makes you feel so much compassion. Anyway, so many good things. So I had essentially written in my review, I was like, this is the most frustratingly awesome book I've ever read, and went into it because it's very dense. It's not fast moving or fast paced by any means, but so rewarding. I also compared it to Malazan, and in that you're going to get rewarded sense, and it's worth it to have a little struggle. And so kind of because of that, she actually ended up reaching out to me, and we developed somewhat of a friendship, and have gone back and forth. Though I know I have been slacking of late, but one of the cool parts is that at one point she said, "Hey, I know how much you like Malazan. I'm going to be doing this something or other. I forget which con it was, but I'm going to be doing that with Steve Erickson. You want to send me some books to get signed?" At the time, I was a poor college student, I believe. How much do I want to do? I was a poor person, at least, whatever it was. So she sends me this wonderful note here, signed book. This is actually an advanced reading copy, and you can see how much I value those. She was probably like, "What are you doing? Sending me a paperback? Where's your hardback?" But these are my favorites. These are my precious. But anyway, wrote me, "Proud father, persistent spirit, voracious reader. May life continue to deliver double dip measures of joy. Best always, Janie Wirtz." And so, so cool. Part of it is I have twins. We talk about all kinds of things, and that kind of comes up. So anyway, great series. Definitely check that one out. And then here's the book that I sent that I had signed from Steven Erickson. So I'm trying to cut down on the ums, but they still keep coming. And so directly, anyway, I don't know if you can see any of that. So that's a cool one. Those are some of my favorite books. I got one more. I know I don't know who's nodding off yet. Who's nodding off there? Let me see. Okay. The last one I'll talk about, I got a couple more, but I know I've been rambling for a while now. But this is one of the coolest ones. There was a little bit of ego in this, that there was a time, and I kind of had to stop myself after a while. But when I was blogging, I would check and see books that I'd reviewed and see if maybe I got quoted or something, how cool would that be? And it literally never happened. And I was like, oh yeah, maybe I should put more effort into reviewing and not being lazy. But every now and then there were glimmers of hope, and actually got quoted here at the beginning of this book by Mike Cole, who is a good book. Another controversial one of late, which you got to stop that, man. You got to stop that, guys. This one I was very proud to get at the time. It's a little less so now, but it's still a really good book, I have to say. But that Only the Best Sci-Fi one is all mine. That's the blog I would blog on. Only the Best Sci-Fi. Still very cool to see your words in print. Everyone wishes they could write and get published. Imagine having your stuff in a Barnes and Noble everywhere. And in the tiniest of lamest degrees, I'm still super pumped to be on it, because, maybe one day I will actually write something and then actually make something else happen. But anyway, those are my favorites right now. And until I find the other ones that I missed. But anyway, thanks for stopping by. Remember to like and subscribe and get the tange out of here, okay?